happening, and it's got to be more. People got to be more aware of what's going on. You know, the kids, like Judah said, should be educated not to provoke officers. You know, my first thing is if I get pulled over, just to do what they ask me to do.
Right, correct.
You know, and if there's any disrespect, you know, passed from him to me or her to me, you know, maybe I can address it later with the police station or with their superiors if I get a badge number or what have you. But for the most part, cooperating with the police would probably be the best way to at least simmer down a situation.
Right.
You know, rather than to be aggressive or, you know, cussing or.
Right. And there were
your feelings.
Yeah, there were some things that they used to do that you know, I guess they cut back on every now and again. They used to do like the basketball games, which I got involved with and volunteered for. They used to do other programs where they have the police officers intervene in the community and get to know the people that are living there, because a lot of the officers, they come from other places where it's not like an urban populated area. So the level of communicating and the level of tension the level of tension is high, and the level of patience and communicating is just not there. Dealing with you know what I'm saying, dealing with our young people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then, you know, 9 out of 10 of the young people now that are becoming police officers, you know, you can probably guarantee that they came up from the hip hop generation.
Right.
So a lot of times their perception probably of you know, minority groups is what they've heard in songs, or you know, what they
what's been portrayed.
Yeah, what's been portrayed in music, because you know, the most popular. The biggest consumer is not really us when it comes to our music, and our culture. So, you know, a lot of times you may get a young police officer that listens to hip hop, works out to hip hop or whatever, but then he probably doesn't realize the subliminals that are flowing into his mind about, you know, how to perceive young minorities. You know, so like a decoding of the media should, you know, that should definitely be part of their training.
Definitely, I think the media definitely holds a responsibility in the situation also, because we don't make up, you know, the majority of the population in the United States. We don't. But the fact of the matter is, you see a lot of us in trouble on TV. Right. You know, or involved in negative perspectives. You know, I was listening to a radio program this week, and they was talking about, you know, that the Million Man March and what Farrakhan put together. A lot of people spoke about it only on the things that it didn't do, but there was nobody really talking about the things that it did do. You know. Right. And, you know, that was a something spectacular in itself. Him bringing together 1 million or 1 million plus, you know, black males together. That was something special. It's strong. It's definitely strong. And there hasn't been anyone since his time to do that. And I don't know about before his time. Right. You know, but you know, he didn't get the credit I think he deserved. Right. You know, that of course he has kind of a radical perspective in how he does things, but there's radical, you know, on TV show guys on Fox News, right? And they get all the love. So it's, you know, it's interesting how things are played and how it's portrayed in the media, and it does a disservice to the community, because then you have things like this happening. Right. And nobody has any answers, you know. Right. Well, definitely, what I want to see is I'm going to definitely invite some of my you know, friends that are police officers on the show to get a perspective from them, because I guess a lot of times you're out there, your life is on the line, and you know, sometimes I guess it's only but a split second or a couple seconds of you making a decision based on a potential life-threatening situation. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to invite some fellow police officers that I know, get them on the show, and just get some feedback on their take as far as what goes on while they're on the job. Yeah, definitely. So as far as education is concerned, you know, we have a lot of conversations about teachers and how the school system can be upgraded, because as conversations was held in different forums, it's like, well, you have the same teaching method, the same material from maybe 20, 30 years, and how is that? I mean, do you think some of that material should be updated or upgraded, or, you know what I'm saying, brought to, you know, 2010? What is your take on that?
Well, a lot of times, you know, they'll bring in a new face, a younger face, and that'll represent kind of like the youth perspective to the young people that are, coming to the class, but the lessons are still the same.
Okay.
So to put a new face on it and kind of give it a youthful look is the same message. I work with a lot of teachers in schools. As a teaching artist, I go in and assist teachers in integrating the arts into whatever their particular unit may be.
Yes.
So, and being in the classroom, I get to see their challenges with the different students.
Okay.
And I get to assist how I can, while I'm in the classroom. But the education system, we already know it needs to change. It needs to assist those young people that are losing on a consistent basis.
Okay.
If you do track records, if you do statistics, there should be adjustments made, maybe yearly, that helps to. I know there are,
right.
But it comes down to the parents and the people in the community to consistently challenge the school systems that are in their communities and make sure that evaluations are being made and changes are being made on a yearly basis for those students that are losing out. It takes community centers to join in. It's a complete effort from the community.
Right.
Beyond the teachers, because a lot of times, like I said, I've been in classes with teachers and I've gotten a chance. Got a chance to learn teachers and see what they deal with and see how they deal with things.
Right.
A lot of times they're too young, and a lot of times they're younger than me, and they can't relate to some of the kids sometimes. And I know I'm looking at the teacher, and I'm thinking about the parent. I'm like, the parent, I hope you're not dependent on this individual to teach your child, because they're not relating, they can't relate.
Right.
So it takes a community effort. I do a lot of work in the teen lounges as well. So it's always it's an educational component that just has to be kicked to our community, to our children on a daily basis, and at every angle, as many angles that we can reach them at.
Okay. What's your view on that, Al?
I think a lot of what Judah said makes sense. I think as a whole, though, we all need to do a little bit more. There's definitely like a generation gap in between, I think, a lot of the older teachers and the younger students. And I think, like you spoke about earlier, technology has advanced, like, substantially since, these methods of teaching been brought about.
Right.
That could be like a 20, 30-year difference in how you're doing things. And maybe to kind of integrate it with technology somehow. Kids spend a lot of their days on the computers, on video games, on their cell phones. Right. The human contact is important to keep, but to somehow enhance what's being done in the classroom to grab the children's attention. Because it's almost like it's too boring for them.
Right.
Their perspective of reality is totally different than what it used to be years ago. Reality to me years ago, if I seen somebody get bit by a dog and there was a little bit of blood, it was like, oh, you had to see it. It was bleeding all over the place. But nowadays, a kid might see somebody shot dead in the street, and it might not strike him as much as what he watches on TV. He's seeing people get shot all the time.
Right.
He's hearing profane language all day. And depending if his parents ain't monitoring what they're doing, it's quite a bit involved, man. And like Judah's saying, everybody needs to be involved. But teachers definitely can go a little bit further and kind of assist on what's going on. Parents could also, meet each other if we want to get this done.
Yes.
It's been, I guess, a big question recently, this whole teaching thing, and I don't know if it's because I know Obama made, the president made some issues of it